Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Just gonna allow a few minutes for us to get some folks on. Um, I want to welcome you guys on to Creative Monday discussion. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna give it like a couple minutes so that we can share this. We can have others join in. For those who don't know, my name is Mervin Budram, MD. I am from Belize. I am a gospel artist. I'm a speaker, motivational speaker. I'm also an entrepreneur, a business owner, and I love to create. I love to produce. I love to innovate, and yeah, that's kind of what this whole Monday session is all about. The creative process that I go through, the creative people that I interact with, different topics that have meaning for me. And so yeah, so I want to thank you guys and welcome you guys to this edition of Creative Monday discussion. Tonight we will be talking about live streaming. We're on a live streaming platform. We're going to be talking a lot about how to improve our live streaming. We're going to be talking about how tips, tools, tech. So if you are a creative and you are someone who is out there making content that you're putting online and you want to enhance that content, tonight is your night. And I want to invite you to share this, invite some friends, invite some folks, create a watch party. Comment. If you have questions for our guest tonight, I want to invite you to just leave those comments below. Tonight, I have some awesome guests with me, and I'm going to introduce them shortly. So just hold on. I'm going to introduce them shortly. Don't rush. But again, I want to encourage you guys, share this link, invite some friends. We want to get folks on. We want to get some folks circulating on this, right? So I'm gonna just spend a couple of minutes just sharing this a little bit before we hop into tonight's discussion. And I hope you enjoyed last week. Last week we had such an amazing topic. We had Tom Sharp, Brent Heavener. We also had Albert Garcia, and we were talking about mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. And so if you missed last week's edition, I want to encourage you to go to my YouTube channel. It's on youtube.com/mervinbudram. And we're posting all the different editions of this Monday discussion there. Like, comment, subscribe. I want to encourage you, if you're not following me, following what we're doing, I want to encourage you to do so, and so that you can stay in the loop of what's been going on. And just so you guys know, for me, why I'm doing this is simple. I love to inspire, I love to motivate, and I love to help transform the lives of people. And so I do that best through speaking, through music, through writing. And so this is one medium that I get to speak and talk and have healthy discussion with several folks around topics that matter, right? And so again, I want to welcome, I see we have Loretta, some others hopping in. I just want to welcome you guys. Share the link. Let's get some folks on here. And let me share this on my wall as well. All right. So tonight we are talking about, for those who just hopping on, we are talking about live streaming. We are talking about tech, audio, video, all those tools that we need. As creators, as people who produce, we need those tools to create and innovate. And guys, here's the reality. For me, music, even writing, all of that, it's a communication tool, and we want to communicate well. And so part of why we're talking about this is, there's a lot of people creating awesome content right now, and everyone's trying to figure out how they can do a better job at communicating well. And so even tonight, that's kind of why we're here talking about this. So let me get this on my wall. All right. So tonight I want to introduce my guest for you. I am excited about the guests I have lined up for tonight. Mostly because I know each one of them. my creative process surrounds each one of them at some different points in my life, right? And so I might share a little bit about that as I hop into the discussion tonight. But without any further ado, I want to introduce our first guest for the evening. And how we're going to do it tonight is a little bit different. Previously, I would do one guest at a time. Tonight, we're going to have all of them on. So I'm going to introduce one of them one at a time, and then we're going to talk to them and see how that goes, right? Actually, I should just bring them all on one lick and just see how that goes, right? So are you guys ready? We're going to do this. We're going to bring you on. Let me get their mics up. And here we go. So tonight, I want to introduce to you guys our guests. We have several guests with us. So first, I'm just going to start from the top that I'm seeing. The first guest I want to introduce is Mr. Steve Castillo. Steve Castillo is a good friend. He's actually my cousin. A lot of people don't know that. We're family. We go way back. Steve and I go all the way back to when I was a little kid in Danrega running around, trying to figure out music, trying to figure out a lot in tech. If I had any kind of technical questions, Steve was still is one of the first person that I call. Steve and I go all the way back to the early New Beginnings days. We used to be in a band together. We used to do music together. We used to tour together. And then we actually went to college together. And we even when I started my business, Steve was one of the persons that helped me get going in the IT world. So welcome, Steve. Welcome to Creative Monday Discussion. It's a pleasure having you. I've said a lot. I want to give you some time to tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
All right. My name is Steve Castillo. I've been in IT about 18 years now, working in the IT field. All that time I have spent at the University of Belize as a technician there. And I must say that I love technology. I love IT. I love music. So a lot of what I would say the world that Mervin is surrounded by, I'm intrigued by. So due to that, we stay, in communication, and we stay talking to each other and bouncing ideas off each other and stuff like that. So I must say that I'm honored to be on the show tonight, and I look forward for a great discussion.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, Mr. Hulse. How are you?
I'm doing good.
This reminds me of the Brady Bunch. Remember? I don't know if you guys remember the Brady Bunch. We're from that era, and everyone was looking down at each other, waving each other at the top. I think we're in the right now with all this live stream happening. We're in the Brady Bunch era,
Yes.
So, so I want to introduce my next guest. We have none other than Obando. Obando,
world renowned, you must add.
I know, world renowned Obando. He's most known, I would say, from the Garifuna collectives and touring with them and producing music. But again, Al goes way back into my life when I was running around with diapers in Danrega, I would say. I remember clear memories when we were, I think it was Alta Vista or one of those community. We were recording our first projects with Conquerors days on cassette. I'll remember that on cassette. And we had to play everything and track everything together. And I was a drummer, so I had the hardest job. Yeah. So if I made a mistake, we had to do everything all over, and I made a lot of mistakes, right? But Al has been a key part of my creative journey from a kid. He's always been involved with music, with engineering, with creating, and so he's really inspired me in that area as well. And a lot of my earlier years of question, I used to go to Al and say, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? My first song that I sequenced was on an Alice's drum machine and a keyboard, and Al was the one who helped me figure that out, right? And I was, I think, 12 years old. That's how way back, right? So I just want to welcome Obando. If you guys are tuning in, I want to ask you to leave some comments, give some thumbs up, give some heart. Let us know that you're with us. Let us know that you're enjoying this as well, right? So I'll welcome anything you would like to share. Yeah.
No, I just ready for get into the discussion. I mean, I know all you guys are way back
basically the relationship not done. This is just a continuing process, and
yes,
yeah. And we live through it. We see what happened already. We really know, and we just hope that we could take advantage and learn every day something new. Everybody calls Stevie every day. Everybody calls Mervin every day. Everybody go to the music store every day. Even me, I just tell the guy, I can pick up a guitar, pick 9 o'clock one night, and wake up the man out of bed.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember that.
yes.
Just because the Obando, okay?
Yeah, right. Yes.
yeah, gig that we fun. So we not stop. We work with everybody. And I love this because we have so much to share, and many times we travel all over the world. We wish we could take the whole country with we.
Yes,
but it had no, and I always say, like, even when we come back and try to explain it, do justice to it.
Exactly.
There's so much you want to say, so much you want to talk about, but all about the experience. So, and the more we could share, leave it by leave it, at least we could leave something behind. So that's the main goal.
Yeah, and then what and that's key, because part of why we're doing this too is we want to help elevate everyone. We want to help everyone step up, and as you said it, we there's so many experiences, and it's so hard to capture it all, right? And so it's good that we can have these healthy discussions where we can talk about some of what we learn along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
Well, I want to introduce my final guest for the evening, and that's Mr. Dale Hulse. The first memory of Dale that I have, and again, I guess all my memories go around music. It's just interesting how key music is in capturing and documenting history. And so I remember we were at this hotel across from the bus terminal. There was a concert or something happening out there, and Dale was on the guitar strumming away. Dale, this was like way back. This was like, I think I was maybe 15 or 16. So this was like way back, and you were, I don't even remember the name of the band, but I remember you had such a impact on me as a guitarist. The skill that you demonstrated back then, and what I saw was a commitment to excellence. I saw a commitment to excellence as you played, and that continued even in your business and your establishment that you do. So I just want to welcome you, and again, feel free to introduce yourself and share what's on your heart.
Hey, well, good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be here with these powerhouses of Belizean.
Oh man.
I almost want to call them nerd, but I don't want to offend nobody. But the truth is that besides my time that I have been involved with music, I actually have spent the better part of 15 years in the IT field. I was actually IT manager, but I've always had a passion and a love for music. I would be the kind of guy that if I showed up anywhere on a live band was playing, you lost me. You couldn't tell me anything, because I want to see what the drummer was doing. I want to see what the guy on the board was doing. I wanted to see firsthand what they were doing. So like if you went to hang out at a place like that with me, you'd probably lose me for a good 20 minutes. Or if you lost me, you would know where to find me.
Right. Wherever the music is at, you'll be there, and it's key, like you said, live band, because there's something about a live band and watching every person interact, but yet they work in concert to produce one song that's amazing, right? And so that's awesome. So tonight, guys, for those who just hopped on, I want to welcome you again to Creative Monday Discussion. We are talking tonight about live stream, audio, video, and our experiences along the way, and anything that we can share to enhance what you're doing. I know I've been getting a lot of calls from churches. I've been getting a lot of calls from individuals along the questions of what can we do about our live stream? How can we improve our audio? How can we, what equipment do we need to buy? And so tonight I have these guys on, and we're all musicians, so don't feel any way if we segue into music topic, but we'll come back. Don't worry, we'll come back and get back on point, and we'll try our best. And I want to encourage you to share this, like this, invite your friends, and join the conversation. So I guess the first question that I want to open up for us to maybe start the bounce around is, why do you guys think what's happening now, the live streaming and everyone kind of getting online, why do you think that is such an important thing for us to kind of jump on right now?
Okay.
Anybody can take it.
I can start.
All right, go ahead.
I will approach it from the church perspective. That's where I am most of the time. So we, as the church, globally, actually, we found ourselves completely cut off from the traditional way of doing church, being able to get into a building and have a worship team and have people come and have that live interactive experience, just like overnight that disappeared. Now, one of the things that is true is that other businesses saw it as a challenge, but also as an opportunity. They're thinking to themselves, okay, so how can we continue getting our goods and services and products to our customers, and the people who think creatively will say we need to figure out a way to do this. And a lot of the churches have come out online and have come to the realization that, hey, this is an avenue that we have available. We might have been ignoring it, but now we don't really have a choice. We have to step into it.
I think that's key deal. I think not just the church, but for everyone. Like it's to me, this is a avenue that has been tremendously ignored, tremendously overlooked. I mean, there are some people that are tapping into it, but now I'm seeing so many artists, so many live concerts happening left, right, and center, and you have direct access to your fans. You have direct access to your client, just like that, right? And so Al, any thoughts?
I have a lot of things for my mind. I it's just weird, like what I want people like not forget or not to forget is that we not invent the wheel. This technology they run, and we they're behind. Basically, and no
interesting concept.
Because everybody we the catch up now, as the young man said, we really catch up now, and everybody trying one thing, and so basically everybody they watch one another. So if you see something from somebody you like, you call them. If you think somebody do better than you, you call them, you ask what they do. And I guess these are the whole power, and these are the blessings where they happen right now, because this are more about sharing now. And sharing information and testing and trial and error, and this create a whole new universe of people and concept of how we operate, right? And the whole platform that exists now have a bigger reach. Even though we think it's just our church or our venue or our live stream event, you have the power now for like reach massive people, which was there before, but we never made a tap into it. So even after this, I think this now has stopped. So this people just want to start perfect this now. What I notice is that just the small things, the small details now, the extra bandwidth we think we need, the wire will never work, the computer when it freeze, the stop card, something, that little small stuff. And now, so that just, as I said, the discussions, at least people have, maybe there's people start calling me out at 4, we didn't start calling, we don't know, maybe, but and I'm sure we don't have a phone number up there, but check Mervin and send it to me. But what we have collectively, I sure, is what amount of years of experience in a certain things, and we don't make a lot of mistakes over the past. People always talk about what they learn over 25 years, 30 years, 15 years. But I prefer to tell you about all the mistakes I don't make. The reason for that is that because you shouldn't make the same mistake.
You don't make the same mistake, exactly.
If you make the same mistake, I make then something wrong. No, they start from scratch, and you don't have to. So we right. Exactly. So we there, and we wish, and like right now, so much things free, man. So much things free. All information. You go up on YouTube, like you could learn stuff in seconds. I think no, that just the commitment from the person, you know, and everybody could be sleeping 2 o'clock in the morning, and you could educate yourself for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, all the possibilities, the endless. So you know, this is a good time. This is a good time, and I think the whole consciousness what happen right now. Everybody there with it same way. So the one struggle together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I like that you brought that point out, that, you know, first of all, this is an opportunity where we are sharing, where we are connecting, where we are assisting each other. You know, the world has never experienced something like what it's experienced before. We've never been this way before, and so we need each other. We need each other, and this is a good time. So, you know, I just in this time I've mustered up courage to call so many people to say, like you said, how do I do this? How do I figure this out? How do I do that? Where first I mean I sit down there wallowing in my own ignorance, you know, if you know assess. No, I'm being forced in a sense to get out of myself and reach out and say, hey, I need help in this area. And what I love that's happening in here, everyone is freely sharing information. Everyone is, well, majority of people are freely giving and sharing their experience, right? And I do wanna segue into that next point. Of you said it, you know, why go and make the same mistakes that someone else made? Learn from their experience. So, Steve, maybe that's that we can get you on that. What have you tried? What has worked for you? But more, what has failed for you? And what can we learn from that?
Yeah. Well, I must say one of the things where I like about tech and about IT, and it's a environment where you could play, right?
Yeah.
I think that is one of the things where I enjoy a lot about it. So one of the things where I try for the buy equipments there and play with them at home, you know, and get things to work in my own you know, call it my own home lab, right? So if you would see in my house, I got a server home where I play around with. So I had to spin up VMs and the, you know, automate things like that at home. I buy a camera so that I could connect it to the computer and my sound card and all an elite thing there, right? So when I give advice to other people, the advice for things where I don't play around with. One of the things where I believe important, where I learned from Al actually, is that you play home so that when you go out on the professional scene or the professional arena, you're not going to play there, right?
That good. Steve, you have to repeat that. Go repeat that.
Yes, because a lot of people, they going live or they will set up things live and then they check this or they want to try some new parameter. And in IT, one of the things that we try promote is that you know play with or you know test on production based systems, right? You create your lead you create your lead sandbox and you play in your sandbox, and then later when you're ready for go live, then you put out your product properly, right? And so I have played with my stuff here, and that helped me for prepare for when I need for go live. I must say IT and tech will fail you in live. So always have what plan B, right? Always have a plan B, because the show must go on, right?
Okay. Yeah. So, well, a perfect example of that was last night at our church service. I already had our system up. We tested it. I was using iRig to get my audio into the stream, and then the I won't call it internet provider. I won't give them marketing right now, but the signal dropped and everything went off. And then when it came back, something happened that it refused to connect my audio well, it wasn't an interface, my iRig back into the song, and it was only getting audio from the the room. So I had to run back to my office. Luckily, my office isn't far from our church. I had to run back to my office to grab my audio interface, which I should have probably used from the beginning, and bring that and connect that in so that we can, at least the latter half of the service can have better audio. So like you said, tech will fail you. Tech will fail you at times, but it's having those contingency plans.
Right.
Yeah.
They will probably tell you a reboot always helps.
First thing you do, man. But Mervin, I think that there might be some people watching and listening that might be looking for like some specific things that they can use. And if you don't mind, I could give you a little bit about what has worked for me.
Yeah.
And so I like everybody else, I kind of got dragged kicking and screaming. That's that.
That's a good statement.
Dragging.
Yeah, it was not the intention. And last year October at the pastors conference that we normally have, Lewis Wade came and I asked him to do a session on live streaming, because the Nazarene Church at Belmont, they have been one of the pioneers, I would say, of that platform.
Yes.
And so he came and he was very practical. There is a software that he introduced us to. It's called OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, I think.
Yeah.
It's freely downloadable. And I didn't think much of it at the time, and he was telling us about some of the equipment, and most people already have most of the equipment that they need to live stream. So if you have a laptop computer, is it called a laptop right now or not? Because when I say laptop, I make it sound old, right?
No, that's still the name.
I still call it a laptop.
Yeah.
So what you really what I'm doing, I have a solid laptop or notebook computer.
Okay.
Nothing all that fancy. Something is running. It's running Windows 10. I think it has 8 gigs Windows 10 64-bit. I do recommend an SSD drive just because it's much faster.
Right.
And that is like the baseline for the computer. So I am running on top of that OBS. Now OBS does have a little learning curve, but as I'll mention, it will take you like maybe 2 hours on YouTube to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then so I do that, and most people again, sometimes people think that you need a very expensive camera. If you have a late model phone, you have one of the best best cameras that the money can buy. More, as a matter of fact, some of the professional broadcasting studios, they will use video from an iPhone camera because it's so good. So right now I am using an iPhone 6 as my camera, and I'm using a piece of software called OBS camera. So I connect the camera to the computer, and for audio. Now for it's you cannot understate the importance of good audio, and Al would probably agree with me on that one, because you have best picture, but if people can't hear what you're singing or what you're playing or what you're saying, then it just gets very, very, very frustrated. So I recommend, I strongly recommend using some kind of audio interface, and audio interface is basically a device that takes what we would refer to as an analog signal, converts it to digital, and that can be then transported directly onto your streaming software, and then up to the internet. The internet loves digital. As a matter of fact, I think that might be the only thing.
Mhm.
That's what it knows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, if you have an audio interface, I will see. I will show you the one that I'm using, that I'm actually using right now as we speak. Let me see. Can you guys see this?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I'm using now. With a device like this, it has a USB connection that goes into the computer. You can turn any old analog mixer that you have lying around into a digital source for your song. That is what I'm using. So
Yeah.
so song is very important. As a matter of fact, some people might say it's probably even more important than video. And the last thing that I will say, and the whatever camera that you're using, one of the most important thing to remember is that a camera does not see the same way that your eyes see. So
Yeah.
it might look good to your eye, but when it shows up online, it's like, what just happened there? So the most important thing that I have found out is lighting, man. So lighting is like the most important thing most of the videos that I see online, just some small investment in lighting. And we're not talking any expensive lighting. The lighting that I'm using are LED lights that cost me like $20, but it makes a huge difference. So you have to remember that the camera does not see the same as your eyes, and it's especially I want to use the word unkind to dark skinned people. It's very, for some reason, these technology, these cameras, they're not like,
Careful how you use that word right now, you know.
oh man,
the world is probably up for right now. But anyways, we're not talking about that.
yeah, but yeah. So lighting makes a big difference. So I would say a good phone makes a good camera. You find the right piece of software to connect it to your computer, light it up as best you can. Get a digital an audio interface card to connect your song to your computer.
Correct.
And that is like the basic. And practically, if you already have a phone, you could probably do all that with less than $200 Belize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's good.
Right.
That's good. And so and Dale mentioned OBS camera. So there are tools out there, and a lot of these tools are free. The learning curve isn't free, so you got to put the time to learn. And I think that's what a lot of people don't want to put the time in. But if you want, you know, this is what I've been observing, because everyone, when it first happened, everyone just went online because we got to go online, and so the world was very kind because everyone was in a learning curve. But if you stay in that unknown for long, the world will no longer be kind to you, because there's so many options now. I mean, Sunday morning you could visit literally 50 church if you want online. And what will keep you streamed? And we are a visual people, and we're very song-oriented people. We engage the world through our senses, which is visual as well as what we hear. And so if I go to a stream and the audio isn't bad, I don't blame someone to hop off. If I go to a stream and the visual isn't good, I don't blame you to be gravitated towards something that's beautiful and looks good. So I agree with Dale. It really doesn't require a lot of investment, but it will require some investment. It will be investment of time, and it also will be investment of some equipment that you will need. Dale mentioned like I'm using my iPhone, and I have a little LED light in front of me, and I'm using a laptop, and I'm just happen to have a condenser mic because I'm a musician, right? So you got to have this in your arsenal if you're going to be a musician. But if you don't have that, a regular microphone with a song interface can work. And I know a lot of people are, and if I could just add this in there, a lot of people are saying, man, OBS, I might not have the time for the learning curve. Like for me, I'm still going through that learning curve at OBS right now. So, but there's a lot of other softwares out there that's free and that's available. StreamYard, I'm using that right now to kind of manage this live stream. It's StreamYard, where you can, and it's free. There's a free version and there's a paid version, and you can go in and it's like a virtual studio that you can have multiple cameras, multiple streams from different place, and you connect them in. There's Be Live as well, and then there's also Zoom. Zoom give the capability to have a discussion, have a group call, but then you can also broadcast that group call as a live to either YouTube or a live to Facebook. So there's a lot of tools out there that you can utilize. It's just a matter of putting in the time to go through the learning curve. I love that whole thing of play at home, but when you go on I'm gonna make a sign for that in my office, because when you show up to the professional space, that's not the play time. That's the work time, right?
Yes.
So I love that statement.
Yeah.
Steve, anything?
Yeah.
Yes, to add
Go
to
Steve.
what Dale was saying, there are a lot of mixers now that come with a USB interface directly into it. I know they have these Mackeys that you could get song out and in from it. It might be stereo, but we also have like the Behringer XCRs, especially the 18 and the 36 channels that you could get full multi-tracks from out of the those mixers. So some people might already have mixers that have USB interface that they could connect directly to the computer. And interesting, I know that Al was playing around with this the other day with NDI, which is the network device interface, right? And with NDI, you could have your iPhone send a stream across your Wi-Fi, across your network into maybe OBS or vMix or one of those other. I have one of the camera where sometimes when you get hot, you go sleep. So this is part of the technical issues that could occur, right?
Yeah.
So there is always a contingency. You say plan B blurry, but yeah, work, right? So as I made mentioned before, you could use NDI, and NDI look like then they fall in our whole new realm of products for streaming on a network, whereby you could buy cameras that are NDI capable now, and they just tie directly into your network, and it's as easy as just clicking and just adding them to your whatever application you're using for broadcasting, right? And so it opens a whole nother realm of capabilities for somebody who is producing and creating live stream.
It's good. Al?
Yeah, man. So like having this whole bunch of like time, over the years, like watching how things work, right? My advice or what I say is that eventually you have to find somebody who will deal with this. If you have a church, if you have anything, one live concert venue, whatever it is, you have to find somebody who will be responsible for it. And I think within the next year or maybe even less, everybody want have it to a point where easy to set up. Easy to set up. They want don't go through all the troubles already. They want to figure out a way for work. And this is a point I try to make, that what I learned over the years is that anything technical shouldn't take up any time. You should be able to like find one way how to make it easy. That just like sound system and speakers, you have people who want to go line array and they want to hang the speaker in the air, and I say, oh no. Right? Everybody want to try thing now, and everybody want to do this now, and they never did do the research. And what happened is that everybody getting into it, they actually reach a point whereby you have to max. It should not take away from the time for you of a usual setup. So if you use a setup in 15 minutes and you get a line array and it take you 10 hours, that doesn't make no sense. Right? That you're supposed to be in and out of the venue with or without a line array, And so even with the OBS system and if any system you use, you want to be able to have somebody responsible, go in, set up, know that it work. Why? Because they're all about the message.
Yeah.
You don't need no distraction. It's supposed to be seamless. Right? And this are all about the art now. And this is why I try to say in the next couple of months, we are right back to square one. And what does square one? And this is my point, Merv, if you be allow me to say this, because this is going right back to what you do, which musicians they on stage, what you they play, because no sound card, no camera, no network, no 5 gigabit, no nothing fast, slow, will make you play in a key or have the guitar tune. That don't make no sense. Right? So the source, the musicians can't stop. The music allow the people to catch up because we they leave it behind. We are set up the thing right. We are asked the question, we are get it, but you can't stop. Everybody on stage have to understand that this is a bigger audience now. You have a responsibility now. You have more people, and you the hope that the camera they do justice to the vibe where you have the spirit where you have to send over this network now, but that only come from the source, that only come from the preacher, that only come from the person playing the instrument, that only come from the person who deliver the singers, everybody have to be in tune, everybody have to play, and so you can't stop. So I say when this done, everybody want to look good and everybody want to sound good in the next couple of months. We are right back to square one. You either play or you can't play. And we are end up listening to the one that we could play and we don't see trouble again.
Yes.
I think this are like everybody's responsibility and you have to keep the art going, and the whole message and everything. So once you find somebody to take care of this, the quicker you could do it, the better. And once you find something at work, please not change it.
Yeah.
Not change it. Because if you think you are bringing your next computer, sometimes you put on something at work and you try one new computer, all of a sudden nothing work again.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason it don't work. And that is just over the years, right? Like, and the whole thing with the lighting and so. This are the perfect example. This 4 screen. Everybody could say, have the best lighting. I have the worst lighting. And I just show you that, I have the worst lighting. I have one fluorescent 20 watt bulb, and that's basically what you look like with a ThinkPad, whether it's what old ThinkPad for way back. So this is basically where I get Mervin have a good lighting there. The young man, I could see Ali, the way that TV there, and the speakers in the back there. The speakers. So I don't know. I see everything clear. It's TV clear. So that just like time, right? And so it's up to you for like this have to get done, and everybody who need you have to be like professional about it. Get it done and get it done right. No, the way I think or the way I always advise people is that if you not do it right, no, don't do it.
Yeah,
you know, work out at the end.
I think you need to say that again, and I think the other people need to hear that. If you know how to do it right,
man, exactly. No, because you have a responsibility to an amount of audience out there, and you want and I sure everybody look for the bigger churches outside of Belize, all the bigger places, and the attention to detail, each thing when they take into account, and you could see it and you could see everything where they do where you not do. And just because not because we can't do, we just refuse to do it, and we want it quick, and we want a quick fix. The phone, everything. Nobody take a leave work. It take a leave planning. It take enough time in there, and it take when you done Sunday, as the service done, that in it again, how you could make next week better. And you go and you go and you improve and you improve each time as you go along.
That one of the things where I like about ministry in the States, right? Where I guess they have more funding where they could hire people full time for deal with them kind of things, right? But in a lot of we churches, sometimes that they change the file long in the collection box, right? So
even worse when you come in.
Don't change the file right now.
So the ministry have to be a part of with dedication to God, right? Exactly. And if you did do something for God, man, not do it half-hearted, do it with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength, right? Because that's basically where Jesus asked we to do in the first place. right? And so when we come as musicians, or we come as tech support, or you just press the next on the PowerPoint, do it as if you do it unto the Lord, right? Do it to the best of your ability. And when you do it like that, the Spirit do the translation for everybody else, right? So sometimes what happen is that sometimes we try so hard. I know, like this Sunday I had a whole planning in my mind about how I may implement multi-tracks at church. And the computer now want to start, the song card now want to work, but we had church. You get me? Because end of the day, this is about what you do for God, right? And so given that church is the listen in, I just what I want to encourage them to make them understand that you do this thing with all your heart, and part of it your dedication to God, right?
Okay. And what I want to add to that, Steve, if I could add to it, that is not a license for do it mediocre. That our license for
precisely
have excellence. That our license, like what I'll say, if you want to do it well. If you know what do it, if you're not ready, if you're not ready for the live stream and that level, better you go back to pre-record. Better you go back to do it. Don't go live stream and master in church before you go live. You don't want to go live and then things they fall apart. You know, like I said, there was a grace period. We're going through a grace period. This hit with like, whoa, what happened? And everybody they fumble, they try to get up there. But it's been what, 2 months now, 3 months. If you not figure it out by now, you either pay somebody for figure it out, or you just not do it. Like you either bring somebody in for help you assist with that, or you not do it right. But it's important that we keep paying attention to the details and pushing for a higher level of excellence.
I think that that the excellence is a key word, and what I've been hearing from Mervin started it. I'll pick it up, but there is definitely I guess you could call it a grace period after this whole thing happened. We're trying to figure it, to find a way and figure it out. But eventually, as you say, Mervin, if you don't improve your quality, if it's not the kind of thing that will keep people listening and watching, then you are going to be weeded out of the pack, so to speak. So but having said that, and I will jump on something that Al says. From my own experience, I think that there is a point of diminishing return. You can only tweak so much. If you have something that's working, it sounds good, it looks good, you might want to hang on to that setup or that thing for a while, because I mean, some of the things behind the scenes that I had to play with, and just for practical. So you have to go to Facebook, for example, and find out what is the bit rate for audio that they will accept.
Yes.
What is the bit rate for video? Are they going to accept in stereo or mono, or so? Because the first instinct is to get the highest quality video that you can get, like maybe 4K, and the highest quality audio, I don't know what, 100 or 300 bit. And then you try to stream that thing to Facebook, and it comes back, because as a matter of fact, it won't come back. What they will do, they will chop it down. So Facebook right now, because of the worldwide demand for streaming, they are accepting, I think, 720p for video at 128 bit for audio. You could send anything higher than that that you want, but they're going to chop it. So I don't know what the limitations on the baselines are for YouTube. I think they're a little bit more flexible. But that's the reality. So Again, it makes your life a little bit easier if you know what are the technical parameters that you're working within. No need to stress yourself to record something at 4K if it's only going to be streamed at 720. I mean, the amount of space that you need is considerably different between those different those two video bit rates. So but anyway, I might be getting too technical for some people.
It's good because I think there's 3 levels of people we're talking to. There's maybe 4. There's those who they're streamlining for fun. I'm watching some stuff on Instagram. And a lot of young people are just streamlining for fun. So it's a very minimal, low cost, or no cost at all. And then there are those who have a very small budget, and we need solutions for those with a small budget. And so I think we've talked about that. There's StreamYard. There's a lot of free stuff that's out there live. But then, and even OBS is free. You just got to put in the learning curve. But then there are those who do have a little bit more budget, and so they want to buy some card, buy some tech equipment, spend a little bit more, and then let's hope that we get to the place where we have the budget to really make this thing go the way we want, and then you could invest in the bigger equipment. But I want to say start small.
I agree.
Start small,
master the StreamYard. Figure out if it's even what you want to do, because purpose needs to be the banner over it. Why are you live streaming? Are you just live streaming because it's the in thing? Are you live streaming because everyone's live streaming? What's the purpose? What's your message that you're communicating? And how will you master your message, and how will you craft your message? And then the live stream is just a tool. Like what Al was saying, if the source is the message, the live stream is just a tool to get it to the audience, right? And so that's the technical avenue. So make sure that you're working on your message. Make sure you're working on your musical skill, whatever creative you're doing. Get that. Continue chip away at that, and then make sure you put a purpose banner over why you wanna reach the audience, and what's the best tool. Is Facebook the right space? Like for me, I started this Creative Monday discussion on Instagram because everyone was doing Instagram and Facebook wasn't really allowing multiple people on. And then I realized I don't really have a live stream audience on Instagram, and I more have an audience on Facebook. So I moved it over to Facebook, and I'm actually I'm going to get ready to move it over to both Facebook and YouTube, because that's kind of where my bigger audience is at. While I'm building my Instagram audience, I'm working on the audience that I currently have, right? And so purpose, get those things right, get your why right, get your all of those things right, and then find the right tool to get the job done. I love what Al said, do it quick. It shouldn't be taking long. And I actually that's something for me, because I tend to be a perfectionist, and I was kind of dragging out a process even with our church longer than it needs to be. So it's kind of let's get this thing quick. Call who you need to call quick. If you really can't get the learning curve, pay who you need to pay quick to get them to get it done quick. Right?
Yeah.
So, guys, we're running out of time. Any last thoughts? Any last words? Let's start with Al.
Yeah. Just with the whole back to deal with the audio stuff, no. Most of the software everybody use, and even the hardware, have a meetup on it. And one of the most I don't know, people don't pay attention. Some people, when I start out, I may think they're only for light, so I may used to make all the light come on, and I want all the lights stay on all the time. And like, whatever. And then slowly, I used to press everything with light. I press when the mixing board, everything light. Yeah, right. This must be work, but I know. But there's a level meter on almost every device. The mixer where you plug in the mics, the band, whatever. And then even when you go to OBS, there's a meter there. I noticed he got 3 color, sometimes 4, but you always started at green, then it went yellow, and then where the edge got only red. You want to stay away from the red, and you want to try to get the best quality, and you don't want to stay much in the green too. You want to be right in a nice sweet spot. We want usually be right below the red, And if you can maintain that, find a way for maintain that. Why? Because that one be your cleanest signal to noise ratio. Basically, that's the technical word when they use. Basically, the amount of noise to sound coming out, that can be the best source. So basically, when other people hear it, it's not too loud, it's not too soft, but they just right at the point. If they have any way where you could filter stuff, filter mean like EQ. If you have any mixing board or something like a master EQ, where you go out from your mixing board, and a lot of small mixing boards I don't have like an EQ. If you could mix or just doctor the high end and the low end. Why? Because earlier everybody started getting to this bitrate stuff, and what bitrate do is that automatically what it start do is start full with the frequencies, and it start knock off all the highs, all the low, all the good stuff. It start knock out, and it start generating one version of frequencies where you want. So if you could feed the source with the less highs already and the less bass, you will have a better signal, cleaner signal. And remember that most people hear this through a phone or a laptop or whatever it is. Frequencies were not designed on a laptop or a phone anyway. You and give them much better signal. You're getting a much better source. They can play it louder, and after a while, what people not conscious of is that it become like distortion to your ears. So sometimes when you listen to music, especially off of YouTube or whichever source, you want to know sometimes, well, why I get fatigued, why this tired me, and then at the same time, you never ask yourself the question why I could listen to certain music long. And a lot of the time that because people take the lead time and they doctor this and they know this, and so when they give you, then take out all the bad frequencies and the usual the high and the lows, the subs and the real ultra highs. And it's more pleasing to your ears, they hear the distortion, and a lot of time that help. So that's my advice, like a small technical advice before you push. So just pay attention to the meter when it comes to the audio. I just get into the video thing. So I have a lot of cameras I'm excited about. Yeah, mirrorless. I see some mirrorless thing now, and then said DSLR. I say, oh well, I don't know. So
we are help you.
Yeah. So we are continuing the right here. If anybody need any help, so we right there stand by.
Yeah. And so guys, I don't have all your numbers, but feel free to share your information, how people can reach you if they need, if you want to make yourself available for that. Feel free to share your information as well. Steve, any last thoughts?
A few little nuggets. I want you guys to be conscious of the bandwidth where you're used to, because bandwidth, especially if you are just streaming, your upload speed makes a difference there, right? I know with Facebook, they're like 4 megs if you want to do 1080p at 30 frames. And you could go online and look up the various platforms where you are used so that you could figure out what kind of bandwidth you actually need, right? Know that bandwidth is being shared once you got it on your network too. So you have to consider that in your mind when you're also dealing with the upload that is going to occur. Next thing, we noticed it with a few churches where Al and I made try help, is that your computer, if you want to use your computer, make sure that it's virus free. Make sure that the computer they run properly, because we had a machine where they run 100% and never they do nothing yet. So you can imagine when you start to run the encoder up on it, if you are already maxed out, I get good encoding they happen from the end, right? Or if they are phones, some people have these phones where they have 1 gig and got so much applications they run on it, and then they're going live stream too, right? That will cause additional headache for you. So be mindful of the computer where you use, whatever device you use, that the resources aren't being exhausted even before you start, because you can't expect that it will produce something that makes sense if you're already exhausted, right? So that are a few just nuggets I want to leave with everybody.
Awesome. Deal?
All right. I just want to emphasize 2 points. One, like I was saying, there is a distinctly different approach to mixing for broadcast, especially for live stream, than live. So that's a whole other discussion. And while we are at it, live does not necessarily mean that you have to be doing it live. Some of the biggest churches that we watch on TV, it's post-production being broadcast as live. So you do not have to do it live. It's a way to improve your quality by miles if you sit down, plan it, record it, post-production, and present it. And I mean, you do not have to do it live real time. That's what I'm saying. That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned, actually.
Yeah.
So that's my final tip.
No, and one of the things, just a tech point on a mixer. Most mixer have an auxiliary send, and so you can send a separate mix using your auxiliary to the live than your main house, right? And so I just want to leave that last nugget there as well. So I just want to thank you guys for jumping on. Thanks Al, thanks Dale, thanks Steve.
That's fine.
It was definitely a pleasure. We need to do this again. Somebody dog wants thank you, right? So thanks to the dog as well. I want to thank everyone that streamed in. I had some friends from Trinidad streaming in, some folks from here, from the different parts of the world streaming in. And guys, just so you know, we'll be here every Monday until we're not, right? We'll be here every Monday, 7:00 Belize time until we're not, and we're going to tackle different topics along the lines of creative. If you want to submit questions, if you want to even be a part of this, be a guest, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is listed below there. So that's info@mervinbudram.com or WhatsApp or call 614-8540. If you have questions and on a topic, if you feel like there's a topic we should talk about, if there's something you want us to address, reach out to me, let me know, and then we'll find the folks in our network to talk about that. I actually want to bring you guys back on for us to have even a more detailed conversation on music, on performance, on touring. I really want to get that with you. Maybe some of the guys from the Garifuna collective. I went to when you guys came back and did it at Niche, and there was so much more like questions and so much more we wanted out of that time. And so we can do a conversation around some musicians, artists, and just kind of discuss what's going on in that scene. Because right now we really need to, as Belize, we really need to get on the scene globally, I would say, in terms of what's happening with the music, and the live stream definitely is a tool that we can utilize for that, right? I'm seeing a lot of stuff happening, and I would love to see more happen in that space. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you
for having us.
Definitely. Thank you. It's a pleasure. So thank you. I'll pull these guys out as I wrap up for the evening. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Creative Monday discussion. I'm your host, Mervin Budram, MD. Again, we will be here every Monday. We start 7 p.m. Belize time. I say Belize time, so people are wondering why am I saying Belize time. I recently learned this, that we have 2 time zones. For part of the year, I think we are on CST, Central Standard Time Zone, and another part of the year we are on Mountain Time Zone or something like that. I need to get my facts right on that. But Belize goes through 2 different time zones apparently, and so I prefer just saying Belize time zone, which gives you the opportunity to Google it for yourself and see where you're at in terms of time. But again, we're going to be here Monday, creative discussion. See you next week. And if you have any comments, you have any questions, you have anything that you want to ask, good night. This is Dayan Nuri. Good night to you. Thank you for tuning in. Good night, Cheryl O'Brien. She's tuned in. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Paul. I see Paul that was on. Shayna, Godfrey Sosa, Natalie Lewis. I just want to thank everyone. The ones that have commented, I can definitely see your comments. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you for being a part. I hope that this segment was inspirational to you. I hope that it brought some motivation to get some things done. Let's take some action on the whole live streaming space. And I hope it's helping to bring some transformation to how you're doing live streaming, how you're getting your product out there, how you're getting your music out there, how you're getting your church or whatever you're getting out there. I hope that this was very helpful for you. Mervin Budram signing off. I want to say have a great evening and be blessed. Stay safe in this time. Thank you.